but we added $2,500. So essentially for the week, we had a negative total, 4-digit negative total of negative $10,224.10. So how's it going? It's Rocky. Welcome to week number 3 of my content that I like to call my 5 to 9 after the 9 to 5. It's essentially a journal where I share a very transparent experience of my ups and downs trading the micro E-mini futures, specifically the Dow Jones Industrial Average. So what I'm showing here is the entire week. It was actually a short week since Monday was a holiday. It was MLK Day, so not a lot of volume as you can see on this side. And basically each candlestick here represents 1 hour. And basically this week, if you've noticed the market, it's one of the worst weeks since February, March 2020. It was just really an awful week to trade. So if you are positive this week, I want to say great job. And if you decided to stay away from the market this week, I want to tell you even a better job. But if you're like me, like I'm sure most people, well, maybe not most people, but if you're like me, it was a tough week, and I want to say just hang in there, and hopefully it works out better in the end. So I am going to turn on basically my lines here, and normally when I have a losing trade, I show that with this round line, just to basically tell me that I need to go back and understand it and see what happened. Unfortunately, this week, I like to say that, yeah, this is all my bad because I did not follow the systems I have in place. I did not do what I've been doing so well the past 6 months. So essentially, I was gambling. I was not trading at all. This was just pretty much just gambling. But basically, I was long a total of 20 contracts, and I'll go in more detail after that. Just wanted to show you that I was long about 20 contracts. I finally had to cut my positions in half and sold 10. So for this one trade that started on Tuesday, and basically I cut it off on Thursday, that was a loss of $7,929.10. And since I held to half of it, where I have 10 more contracts left, so for Friday, where the dip just seems to keep on going and going, on Friday we had a mark-to-market loss of $2,295. So normally I do my trade analysis on my 5-minute candle and my 512 tick candle. But like what I said, since I did not trade my system at all, and it was pretty much just a gamble what I did here, which is very bad, I basically entered this trade on the hourly chart because, I don't know, I was just being silly. And basically I really want to just show you what happened, and hopefully you can learn from this and say, hey, don't ever do this silliness. Or maybe you can learn from how I'm managing my risk from this. And maybe, hey, you can tell me your opinion if, what way would you have gone. But, it's always hard to think of what should have, could have, would have done. Right now, I just have a situation that I need to basically recover from. So here is the hourly chart, and I'm going to explain to you exactly what my logic was. So I'm going to turn off a bit of these so it's easier to see what's going on. So what's happened here is, I'm going to zoom out a bit here. Something I've noticed that started happening last week is like market would dip, it would recover. So that was Monday of last week. And then Tuesday, it would dip again and recover. So a lot of that was happening, and because of that, on Monday essentially, which was right here, since there was no volume going on, I was watching it in the evening and I really saw no entry. So at that point, basically this was what I was seeing at night. So around here, this was what I was seeing at night. It was pretty much flat, and I don't know why I did this, but basically I zoomed out and I tried to look for a support line, and this is the blue line here for the past 2 weeks. I saw the support line essentially around 35,566, and because of that, I made this silly entry. I just said, hey, you know what? It might dip, but if it does dip, we were at that point or at 35,850. I was like, you know what? If it dips, that's fine. I'll just do a limit order at 35,560, which is this one right here. So I made a guess. I just made a stupid entry because of support. So there was no rhyme or reason of that. I'm really just doing rookie mistake. So as you can tell here, that there 6 contracts was bought at 12:28 a.m. So I was asleep. I pretty much placed that order around 9 or 10 p.m. the night before. So basically, when I went to sleep, the high here, if you look up there, is about 35,856. So I put my limit order at 35,560, and that was processed pretty much at 12:28 in the morning. And basically, when I woke up around 6 a.m., you can see here it pretty much the high was at 35,515. So essentially, from the high of 850 to 515, that's already down, about 300 points. And since I entered at 560, I thought, I was down just a couple hundred, but I was silly enough that I'm like, you know what? That's a huge dip. So I added essentially 12 more contracts, as you can see here. Added a group of 6 at 35,309 and at 35,240. Because at that point, it was already down 600 points. I figured with how it was the previous week, you'll just bounce back. And of course, never think of it that way. So the tricky part about this is basically, I'm going to bring back the 5-minute here. What's tricky is from the first 18, my average was pretty much at 34,370. And when I added 2 more, my average became 35,340, which is this red line here. And you can see that I had 2 opportunities to exit. I could have exited right here on Wednesday, where I think I was up about $600-700, but I did not, because I don't know. I was distracted. Like what I mentioned, I don't like to trade during the day, so I don't really watch it during the day. But again, I didn't follow my rules, no OCOs. And like what I said, I was gambling essentially. So I deserve what happened this week. So I had an opportunity here to exit and be positive, but I didn't. So that was a gap of 3 hours right there. And then on Thursday, I again had an opportunity at around 8 a.m. to exit and be, break even and have, I think, about $400 net profit. But again, I didn't. And I just saw that thing dip a lot. And this, if you look at this 1 hour candle right here, that's a high of 35,078 to a low of 34,552. So that's 500 plus dip on a 1 hour candle. So that's just crazy. And that's why, this week it was pretty much a gamble. And pretty much right now I have 10 more contracts. I did, de-risk a little bit. But anyway, that's pretty much our up and down story of the week. I gambled, so it was definitely shame on me for letting this occur. But my goal for the next couple of weeks is I'm just pretty much going to watch it and see how it goes. I can afford for it to dip a bit more without worrying about any margin calls. But essentially this contract, which is a March contract, is not going to expire until mid-March. So there's a good chance that I might, if I don't get any margin calls, I might just hold on to see if we can recover it. And yeah, so basically I've tied up my money here and I can't really trade anymore. And that's okay. I think that's really how I'm going to mitigate this issue, and that's how I'm going to move forward. I'm just going to watch it for the next couple of weeks. Hopefully it'll recover, but you never know. A lot of people have been saying that the correction is already occurring, so it could get pretty tricky the next couple of weeks. So here is our account statement, where basically I pride myself on the transparency, whether the results are up or down. And basically I am showing here from Sunday the 16th to today, Friday the 21st. And if you look at the description here, you notice that I did deposit $2,500, and because of that, I'm gonna have to pretty much add that to our starting balance for the week, just to make the math a lot easier to follow on how we really did. And basically here, so $14,546.34. Subtract that, we'll do a parentheses. Basically our starting cash here was $22,270.44, but we added $2,500. So essentially for the week, we had a total of a negative total, 4-digit negative total of negative $10,224.10. So, if it was a 95, 40-hour work week, essentially we were giving away $255 per hour. So on our percentage here, just to make it easier, let me do the math again. So our starting cash was essentially $22,270.44, but we added the $2,500, so that's our starting cash. And then actually, so for this week, we lost $10,224.10, and we'll divide that by our starting cash of $24,770.44. Multiply that by 100, so essentially we lost negative 41%, so almost pretty much half the account. And yeah, that's just the reality of what happened this week. Hopefully you learn from this content. I know might get a lot of hate or pity for it, but can admit it's all my fault. I pretty much just gambled this week, as opposed to trading well like how I've been doing the past 6 months. Anyway, hopefully you enjoyed that content. Please do like and subscribe. If not, give me another chance, and hopefully, we'll be doing better next week. All right, have a good one.